Hello, I'm John White. With me today is Sharon Campbell, and Sharon is a master gardener here in Doñana County, and Sharon has brought some pretty colorful things here.
Yes. As we walk around the neighborhood now, as we're getting into fall, notice that the shrubs and trees are turning some really pretty colors, and we're getting some nice berries too. Perhaps today, John, you could tell me how we might use some of these, and also how they are attractive to the birds this time of year, which more than others. This is a red oak, which, as you can see, is turning some really lovely colors.
Now, the red oaks are very colorful this time of year and really get their name, red oak, this time. Depending on how our weather goes, sometimes they will go through a very beautiful change in color, and then other years, if we have a sudden cold, they go from green to brown real quick. So luckily this year is going to be one of those that looks like we're going to have lots of color. But red oak is a good tree to grow. When you buy red oak, you do want to pick a red oak that comes from a little bit closer vicinity. So we want to be careful about taking red oaks out of East Texas and trying to grow them in our alkaline soil conditions, because you do have a lot of problems with this one. You know, the leaves. For kids and stuff, there's a lot of things where you can break the leaves off and you can shellac them and do different things and use them in decorations.
Sounds good.
But the color is really beautiful on them, so that's an excellent tree to use here.
It is. The Chinese pistache has a particularly lovely berry on it, an unusual color. How might we use that, and are these berries attractive for the birds?
Okay, the birds do go after them. They probably prefer one that has more meat on them, because these have a little hard seed inside them, and once the berry begins to dry down, it'll turn almost black or kind of a real reddish brown, and it just turns very hard. You will find a lot of these popping up, maybe in your flower garden, or you know, where a tree has been, birds have perched on it and they drop the seed,
Right.
so you end up with a lot of little pistachio tree seedlings. But this is an ornamental tree. It's the Chinese pistache. The female tree produces the little seed here on it, the little fruit, and the male tree, of course, produces only the pollen, so it doesn't produce any seed. But you still get the real pretty color on it. This one hadn't quite colored yet, but around town it is developing a lot of color on it, so it's going to be real red. The leaves will fall and then the seed will be left hanging in the tree. So these can be used in decorations, and again, another good tree for the area.
Okay, I know these turn a beautiful red
Right.
sometimes. This has a really pretty pods on them. They appear a bit fragile, but how might we use those?
Okay, this is a golden rain tree, and golden rain tree is a good tree to use in our landscapes. It's kind of a medium-sized tree. Has a very beautiful yellow bloom on it in the spring, just a chain of yellow flowers, and then they produce the kind of looks like a little Chinese lantern.
Right.
And there's, as you can see, there's seed down in the center of these, but these can be used in dried arrangements where they can be cut loose and put in a dried arrangement. Sometimes the foliage will begin to develop a little bit more yellow color, so you will have some nice fall color on this, but the seed pod's really what you're looking for with dried arrangements.
Okay, thank you. This is a rather delicate little flower on that. How might we use that?
Okay, this is a fruiting pistachio. So this is actually the pistachio that we get the fruit off of it. It's forming some of its flowers now, probably some of the male flowers, and you know, you really won't use this too much in the decoration other than the leafy leaves on it, the nice green thick leaves, because this really won't develop into much of a real showy flower. But pistachios are, we're seeing them used more in the southern part of the state.
Okay. And finally, this has a rather delicate flower on it. I'm not familiar with the plant, but a friend told me that it has a wonderful aroma.
Okay. This is a variegated Eleagnus, or some people know them as silverleaf, and the non-variegated variety has a kind of a green silver colored foliage on it, and then it has all these, as you look on the underside, you can see all these little dots that look like a spider mite infestation.
Mm-hmm.
That is normal on them, but it does have kind of, you can see the little flowers here that just really don't show up much, but are quite fragrant, and so they're grown mainly for their foliage. They can be quite large, 6 to 8 feet in height, and probably at least that wide.
Okay.
And they are evergreen, so
Nice.
it is a good low water use shrub to use for the area.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sharon, thank you very much.